to do a university course, these are the things that we want to look at. So, to my mind, there are groups that he knows, and this one in particular he approves of. And they are doing the same things he's doing, and they've been there for quite a while. Now let's go back here about these people who lie, who throw the scripture behind them. That was in Surah 3, but I think we had the same thing in Surah 2. Where was that now? Where did we leave off in Surah 2? Who can help me here? Anyone you guys know? We did the likeness of Jesus with Allah is the likeness of Adam. We did that, didn't we? And let's see. Here it is. 78. There's a party who distort. No, we're back again to that. God, where's Surah 2 here? I think I've lost it. Hold on. I keep going up to Surah 3. Let's see. Oh, here it is. The same thing. 101. That's why I was confused. The same thing. They possess a party of those who receive the scripture, fling the scripture of Allah behind their backs as if they knew it not. There it is. So, you know, that's when you get repetition in these surahs, in Surah 2, Surah 3. That's when we do Surah 2, we basically have it all. But there it is. That is the same thing. So they set the truth aside. So who's he talking about? This enemy of Gabriel, the enemy of Allah. Now, I skipped over that quickly last time that we were talking, line 97 of Surah 2. These are angels. We discussed them, but where are the angels mentioned for the first time in literature? Now, in the Quran, we see them mentioned here. But where does he get them from? I mean, do these angels really exist? Well, a believer would say yes. But have you and I ever seen Gabriel and Michael, any of these people? Beings, whatever they're supernatural beings? Well, maybe you have, but if you have, so I'm sure someone would put you down in some institution somewhere if you started telling them you were seeing Gabriel walking around here every day. So what we accept in the past, we don't really accept in the present too much. So people always let the past have these experiences, but most people aren't prepared to entertain them in their own time. So to my mind, the past is no different than the present. There were not superheroes in the past any more than there are in the present. George Bush was today, yesterday, and the day before yesterday. And these people all have failings, flaws. We don't have Achilles, man gods, and supernatural giants and people today any more than they had them yesterday. So, but in religion, we do. So that's where an academic university parts company with religion of all kinds. Never mind. The point here is he's speaking about angels. So there's a history of angels. I asked you last time, but you may have forgotten. Where was Gabriel first mentioned in any book? The book of Daniel. And it comes around, if you're interested in that, you should go look at it. It's in chapter, I think, 8 of Daniel. After Daniel in chapter 7 has a vision, then he sees an angel. I don't have a Bible with me, or I would read it to you. He sees an angel or a supernatural man or something standing on the riverbank or somewhere like that, dressed in white, and he realizes this is Gabriel. So what does Gabriel do in the book of Daniel? Does he give the visions? Who knows? No, he doesn't. He interprets the visions for Daniel. Daniel has his own visions, and then Gabriel tells him what they mean. So Gabriel is not the giver of visions, he's the interpreter of visions. That's a fine point. That would be lost over 1,000 years of history. I do understand that, particularly oral history. So it would appear to someone that Gabriel was the giver of visions. In any event, that's where he first appears. And in books like Enoch, another book very popular in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Enoch is very popular, Daniel is very popular there. These are 2nd and 3rd century BC books. These are books written in the 2nd and 3rd century BC. The early books of the Bible, they speak of an angel appeared. Like an angel appeared to Gabriel, right? To Abraham, right? But they don't name them. They don't know the names of the angels in the 1000 BC period. The names of the angels only come into play in the 200 BC period. And Michael is another angel that appears in the Dead Sea Scrolls quite often and apocryphal literature generally. And he's the guardian angel of Israel. He's the guardian angel of Israel. Now, the author, Muhammad, let's say here, or whomever, knows the names of these angels. And in Islam, then, the Quran is attributed to Gabriel. Jabril, I think, in Arabic. But I don't think that's exactly the way he originally started. You say, oh, well, you don't know. You're stupid. We know better than you. Oh, that's fair enough. That's a good argument if it satisfies you. But on the other hand, people who do know these things do feel that they know and don't think that they're stupid. So we have to decide who's the stupid one here. The people who do think that they know if they studied this, or the people who haven't studied it and still think that they know. So again, this is something that you're going to have to decide for yourself. I don't have a final. Each person always thinks the other group is stupid. Like the pre-Islamic period is called the Jahiliyyah, the period of ignorance. You'll have to make that that decision. Anyway, as you see, whoever is responsible for this material here knows more about this tradition than anyone in this room, as I've told you. And so we must credit that. The person has serious knowledge, but it may not be exactly the way the tradition was. The answer there can always be you've introduced lies into the tradition. We know it better because we're going back to the original purity. Anyway, you guys can decide your take on that. The believers will go to one side. The more critically minded people will go to the other side. And you'll maybe find yourself somewhere in the middle. Anyway, so when a messenger comes from Allah concerning that which they possess, who possesses? Line 101, who possesses? A messenger comes concerning that which they possess. Who possesses this? Well, just like those stories about Asad Kamil, remember? The rabbis possessed it in those stories, and the rabbis teach Asad Kamil and teach the other people that Mecca is going to be the shrine of a great prophet, and so on and so forth, and teach them, you know, that this was the shrine of Abraham and so on. Whether that's a true story, we don't know, but it's the Jews who possess this knowledge. That which they possess, their scripture, or the Jewish Christians. I don't think these are normative Christians down here at this time. We don't get any normative Christian material in the Quran as such. If anyone can find normative